Black Sabbath lead guitarist Tony Iommi recently recalled the time he decided to fire Ozzy Osbourne from the band in 1979. According to the musician, the decision was hard, but necessary for the band's future. While Black Sabbath has been one of the most significant bands in the metal scene since their formation, not everything always ran smoothly, as the band members faced several challenges along the way. Their 8th studio album, Never Say Die, released in September 1978, it was a turning point in their careers since the band members had realized that their substance addiction was getting in the way of their music. The tour in support of their album, which began in May 1978 with Van Halen as their opening act, disappointed many critics and fans. The criticism was harsh, as many compared Van Halen's young and energetic performance to Black Sabbath's tired show. The band was back in the studio to record their follow-up album the following year. However, tensions arose between the band members, mainly due to the never-ending creative process. Frontman Ozzy Osbourne paid the highest price amid their conflict. At Iommi's insistence and with the support of Butler and Ward, Osbourne was fired from the band on the 27th of April 1979. Although the band members' excuse was the singer's substance abuse, Osbourne claimed that every member of the band was on the same level in terms of their drug use and alcohol consumption at that time. During a recent interview, Tony Iommi reflected on the time they had fired Ozzy Osbourne from Black Sabbath. According to the musician, their main problem was drugs, and creating their new album was taking an incredibly long time. Since Black Sabbath had material but no vocal parts, the band had to make a decision. They were either going to break up or find a new frontman for themselves, which was precisely what they did at that time. About Osbourne, Iommi said,
Basically, I think the major problem started from drugs. And we'd been about for a while at that point and done a lot of touring. And it came to a point where we used to do another album, and off we go to Los Angeles to do another album. And we had a house in LA that we were there for 11 months to rehearse in the house. We'd never done anything, basically. We came up with a lot of riffs and stuff, but we'd never actually done much as far as putting songs together, because the whole thing has fallen apart. Everybody's going in their own individual rooms, tooting this and tooting that and puffing this and puffing that. And at the end of the day, it just was disastrous. We just weren't producing anything. Mm-hmm. And it was very difficult because, I can say, well, Ozzy was the first one to have to go. But it was hard, We had to do something, because I used to go to the record company. It was me that used to take the stuff to the record company. And they're going, oh, how's the rehearsals? How's the writing going? Oh, great, lie. When can we hear some stuff? Oh, fairly soon. And we hadn't got anything, We got got some music ideas, but not much vocal ideas. And Ozzy was going through probably a really awkward stage, and, most times he was on the couch, spark out, And we just got pressurised so much into, we've got to do something. Money's going out the window, it's costing a fortune staying there. Everything was coming to a head, and we had to say, well, what are we going to do? We're either going to call it a day or break up, or we're going to try and find another singer, Mm-hmm. And, we'd already had this problem slightly before we went as well. And Ozzy left and came back, left for a short while and came back. But in the LA, it just came to a crunch, and it all came to an end.
That must have been a tough time. Were you close to breaking up?
It certainly wouldn't have continued at that point, absolutely. It was getting worse and worse, and it was just so, we were all so down then. We needed something to really boost us up, and sort of when we replaced Ozzy with Dio, then it really did start us off again. We had sort of somebody that's come in that's had some input, and who would sing to the riffs we'd got. It's a bit disappointing when you come up with all these riffs and then nothing's done with them, and you start thinking, what are we going to do? So when Ronnie came in and I played him a couple of riffs, immediately he started singing them. And then we went into at the house, we had because we all lived in the same house in Bel Air. And in the garage, we had it turned into a studio. We built a studio there. So we go in there and play. And then, so when Ronnie came up, we sort of played it live, and it was great. He just sang away, brilliant, And it was a totally different approach. As soon as Ronnie got involved, the writing changed as well, because I was able to play a sort of a different way for some reason. Where Ozzy'd sing a lot on the riffs and follow the riff, Ronnie would sing sort of in between stuff. He didn't always sing on riffs, and he'd sing on chords. And we tried to sort of also talk to him about singing on the riff as well, which he did on a couple of the things. But more or less, it was good because you could approach the songs differently, And here you are with a singer that you don't know where he's going to go, and it's quite exciting because you can play something, and you can hear him go into a place that you wouldn't ordinarily recognise. Oh, that's good, Where Ozzy, you sort of roughly know, because we worked together so long, what sort of thing he'd go, where he'd go. You'd be looking for a place to go that also there'd be comfortable for him to sing on in some ways as well.
Thank you for tuning in, and please hit that like button, it's appreciated. Make sure that you subscribe for more rock-related content.